Italy has a fascist leader that hates gays, hates brown people, and believes in the white supremacist idea of the great replacement theory. Let's just take a look at what Hillary's saying in response to Italy's new fascist leader taking control. The election of the first woman prime minister in a country always represents a break with the past. And that is certainly a good thing. Every time a woman is elected to the head of state or government, that is a step forward. That girl boss moment when you do fascism. The justification people are giving for Hillary saying that girl boss fascism moment, I love it when a girl takes charge, is this is the next thing she said to justify her insane statement. I never agreed with Margaret Thatcher, but I admire her determination. And that's to justify promoting a fascist for being a woman. I never agreed with Adolf Hitler, but I really admired his determination to kill the Jews. He was really determined, and I really enjoyed his work ethic. I think that we all need to take lessons from Adolf Hitler's work ethic. Sigma grindset fascists. This is why liberals are awful at fighting against fascists. They'll do shit like this. They'll do shit like this. You now have this wonderful lady, Giorgia Meloni, winning the vote and becoming the new prime minister of Italy. So why is this happening? What does this mean? So before we get into that, we need to go into what she stands for. Basically, the reason that she's so bad and why she is most definitely fascist, and she is a Nazi, is because of the views of her and her party. So basically, she wants to ban gay marriage and also ban gay people from adopting children. That's not great. And based on that, I don't know how progressive her trans opinions are. She's also a white nationalist, so she believes in keeping Italy white. And she's very anti-immigration. She often talks about like the great replacement theory, which is something that a lot of American politicians will not like say as directly as she will. She's more far right than a lot of our right-wing politicians in America. She's more direct. Well, the actual beliefs of our right-wing politicians are probably on the same level as her, but she's a lot more direct and open with them. So yeah, she's pretty directly says that the great replacement theory of how like brown people and black people coming into Italy, or in America in our case, but Italy in her case, are going to replace the white population, and how it's all being led by Jewish billionaires because they want to culturally degenerate the white society. Now, they don't actually say Jewish billionaires, they just always say George Soros. And when you have people talking about anti-immigration and conservative politics and views, and they blame everything on George Soros, it's not because he's a billionaire. I don't like billionaires either. It is because he's Jewish. They're going to blame George Soros. Sometimes they also, if they want to get a little bit creative, they'll blame the like CEO or chairman of, I forgot which one it is, of BlackRock. I forgot his name too. I'm bad with names. They'll blame the CEO of BlackRock too because he's also Jewish and has power. But yes, they're not blaming the billionaires. They're blaming the Jewish people, but they want to hide behind the fact that they're saying they're blaming the billionaires to really just hide their anti-Semitic opinions, which are not great. Their anti-Semitic opinions are not good and not based. What else has she done? Well, she wants to like have basically a Navy fleet that will just like make immigrants turn around and not let immigrants in. She just wants to kill immigrants, basically. She doesn't actually say that, but that's pretty much what she wants. She also probably wants to kill gay people. What else? Oh yeah, So let's go look at actually her party, her political affiliation. So she's part of a party called the Brothers of Italy. Now, whenever you see any sort of political group start themselves with brothers, or boys, or proud. No, that's I'm just saying the Proud Boys now. But if you ever have something start with brothers, boys, or men, these are normally, you can normally get a lot of red flags for fascism, because having this manly national identity is often a big part of fascism. So that's often a pretty big red flag. But yeah, basically, the Brothers of Italy is a far-right political group that was founded. It's basically its forefathers. So what it was founded from in 1995. It was basically a merger from a previous political group. So this is basically, they just renamed. So it was, since 1995, it's been the Brothers of Italy, and before that, it was the Italian Social Movement. So these are the same party, essentially. You can see by the fact that they have essentially the same logo. Yeah, so let's see where they came from. Formed in 1946 by supporters of the former dictator Benito Mussolini. This wonderful picture of him is showing up with his masculine square jaw. Most of whom took part in the experience of the Italian Social Republic and the Republican Fascist Party. The MSI became the fourth largest party in Italy in the early 60s. The party gave informal, local, and eventual national support to the Christian Democrats from the late 1940s and through the 50s. So basically, they started as being the Mussolini Party directly after 1946. So that's like right after World War II, when Mussolini died, was killed. They basically made a fascist party. The supporters of Mussolini made a fascist party directly after their fascist dictator was outed, and that was allowed to happen. They just let them create a Mussolini fascist party. And then this fascist party then became the party, the Brothers of Italy, which ran this wonderful, wonderful lady, Giorgia. I already forgot her last name because I'm very bad at names. And now she is the Prime Minister of Italy. So the Mussolini party, the leader of the Mussolini party is now the Prime Minister of Italy. Yeah. Pretty bad. And if you look at this here, this logo right here, actually, see this little flame with the Italian flag on it? It's also on the new logo for their party. That stands for the eternal burning flame of Mussolini. Their party is the Mussolini party. Now, Mussolini and Hitler, ideologically and based on how bad of people they were pretty much on the same level. They were just as bad as each other. Hitler was an idiot meth addict, and Mussolini was more of an idiot than Hitler. So they're both idiots, and Mussolini was more of an idiot. That's why we don't know him as much as Hitler, because he was really stupid and really bad at running Italy. Fascists, believe it or not, are always very bad at running countries. That's kind of a big thing of being fascist. But Mussolini was worse than most, and yeah, that's why he's not viewed as being as bad as Hitler, but really he was. He was just slightly more incompetent. So that is the equivalent of Germany. Let's just say Germany, directly after World War II, 1946, they make the Hitler Party, which is just a party which has like their logo is just a little face with a Hitler mustache on it, and it says "We hate the Jews" in text underneath it. And no, it's not that obvious, but let's just say it's just a smiley face with a Hitler mustache on it, and that is their party logo. And they are openly fascist and believe in all the same things as Hitler. And for some reason, that was let to exist directly after Hitler lost that Hitler party with the really dumb logo. They were allowed to exist directly after Hitler died by killing himself. He would have been killed anyways. And after they killed a bunch of the Nazi leaders for crimes against humanity. They let that party exist, and then a bunch of years later, in 2022, that party is still existing and has flourished, is now the Hitler Party wins the 2022 election in Germany, and their leader becomes prime minister. That is essentially what has happened here, but in Italy. And I know that people don't really realize it as being as bad because people don't realize Mussolini being as bad as Hitler, but they're essentially ideologically identical. So just compare those two things happening, and that is what's happening to Italy right now. Not good. Not good. What is this one? Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to talk about. Now, Italy has a fascist leader that hates gays, hates brown people, and believes in the white supremacist idea of the great replacement theory. That's not all, though. It's not an isolated thing that's happening only in Italy. Actually, all of Europe is currently going under a very pretty big fascist uprising. I know that we in America have America brain and we only care about America. My entire family's from Germany, so I'm a little bit more aware of European politics than most Americans. When most Americans' idea of European politics is just, I don't know, British people and the Queen. That's all you know about Europe. British people, the Queen, and Germany did the Nazi thing a while back. That's about what most Americans know about European politics. But Europe is going under a massive fascist uprising, which is not just Italy. You have Hungary, which is just a fascist dictatorship now. Like, it's straight up a dictatorship. Yeah, believe it or not. A country in Europe, in the European Union, is just a fascist dictatorship. They're technically call themselves a democracy, but that is what fascists like doing. They like saying that they're democratically elected. They're not. Hungary is a fascist dictatorship. Poland is pretty damn fascist. It's getting pretty close to there. Sweden. You know Sweden, the one that we always talk about being socialist? Well, I don't, it's not socialist, but you know the one that the Republicans always say is the socialist country? Like Denmark, Sweden, and Finland, they're like, especially Sweden, it's always the Swedish people. They're socialist, oh my god. Yes. The Swedish government is being taken over by the far right. The far right party is taking over Sweden too, and just when was this? September 15th. Magdalena Andersson resigns as right-wing party wins vote. So yeah, Sweden, the social democrat, the SOCDEM utopia is now under right-wing control, and the SOCDEM center-left prime minister has resigned because it's under, that's what happens when you lose control, is you resign. That's just how it functions. It's not like she's resigning in protest. That's how they do it. Yeah, so Sweden too. Not just Sweden. France, you had this fucking crazy bitch, this crazy woman. I would never use sexist terminology, but yeah, this crazy woman did very well in the recent French election. She didn't win. Macron did barely win out. The liberal Macron barely won out, but she has been running election after election, and she is slowly gaining numbers and is getting awfully dangerously close to overthrowing Macron's prime ministership. So yeah, France is kind of getting pretty close to being run by fascists. I mean, even Germany probably is the country that is like the furthest from being taken over by fascists, but their far right-wing fascist party is gaining seats. They are gaining seats over time. Like, they have a number of seats in Germany, and every election they're gaining some more of those. So even Germany, which is in probably the best place out of all the European countries, except for maybe some other all the biggest ones, I think maybe like I don't know exactly know Denmark politics or whatever, but like Germany's probably in one of the best places. Even them some fascism is happening. And we know what happened last time. There's some fascism in Germany. But yeah, so another funny thing is liberals are pretty bad at dealing with fascism. Like, really bad at dealing with fascism. Let's just take a look at what Hillary's saying in response to Italy's new fascist leader taking control. Let's go look. Hillary Clinton on Meloni. The election of the first woman prime minister in a country always represents a break with the past, and that is certainly a good thing. Every time a woman is elected to the head of state or government, that is a step forward. Let me repeat. The election of the first woman prime minister in a country always represents a break with the past, and that is certainly a good thing. Yes, a good thing. Every time a woman is elected to the head of state or government, that is a step forward. This is in response to a fascist woman being elected to the head of state. Yes. That girl boss moment when you do fascism. We need more female fascist dictators. There is a big trend of girl boss fascists. You have Meloni, and you have nope, that's the wrong one. You have her. She's trying to become a fascist girl boss and taking over France. And now you have a fascist girl boss that just took over Italy too. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, and the justification people are giving for Hillary saying that girl boss fascism moment, I love it when a girl takes charge, is this is the next thing she said to justify her insane statement. I never agreed with Margaret Thatcher, but I admire her determination. And that's to justify promoting a fascist for being a woman. I never admired Adolf Hitler, but... oh, fuck. I'm saying that wrong. I never agreed with Adolf Hitler, but I really admired his determination to kill the Jews. He was really determined, and I really enjoyed his work ethic. I think that we all need to take lessons from Adolf Hitler's work ethic. That's something you can really, really respect about fascists, is they really get on the grind set. Sigma grind set fascists. This is why liberals are awful at fighting against fascists. They'll do shit like this. They'll do shit like this. Gotta fix my camera. Whoo! And I think actually, unironically, I think I saw a tweet about it. I have not confirmed, but I do believe that we actually gave money to this fascist party that just won in Italy back in the 60s or something. We gave these fascists money to fight against communism and socialism. We literally funded fascism because we didn't like socialism and communism that much, that we're like, let me just give a bunch of money to fascists. And now it is biting us in the butt. Same thing happened in 9/11. Just let's give a bunch of conservative radicals money. Oh, whoops. They bombed our Twin Towers. Yeah. We keep doing it. And we also do it in the South, in South America. and Central America, we have over the past 100 years, not quite 100 years, but over the last 80 years, given a bunch of fascist dictatorships money and supported them in coups to overthrow socialist governments. And like, America sucks. A lot of the fascism is like due to America being like, we don't like communism, so therefore we make fascism. Ooh, boy.
Sogno una nazione nella quale le persone che hanno dovuto abbassare la testa per tanti anni, facendo magari finta che la pensavano.
Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab, wenn ja, verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab, wenn ja, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe.
Stavano in maniera diversa, se no sarebbero stati tutti cacciati. Possano
im Dienste meines Volkes.
anni facendo magari finta che la pensavano in maniera diversa, se no sarebbero stati tutti cacciati. Possano dire come la pensano e non perdere il posto di lavoro per questo.
She is definitely louder and more annoying than
Sogno
Hitler.
una nazione.
That is for sure.
Den wirklichen, fruchtbaren Frieden, der die Fragen des Sieghaus, des Zusammenlebens der Völker ergeben.
Nella quale le persone che hanno dovuto abbassare la testa per tanti anni.
Yeah, I think you guys get the point. I think you guys get my little point here.
Dass ich anständig meine Zeit
Yeah.
verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes.